I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart. In my heart I have but one desire, and that one is you. No other will do. I've lost all ambition for worldly acclaim. I just want to be the one you love. And with your admission that you feel the same, I'll have reached the goal I'm dreaming of. Believe.
Happy Monday night. Welcome to another edition of the Table Spot. My name is Metal Mike, and I'm joined here, as always, with the alpha wolf himself, Sean B., and the man with the best looking beard in the biz, Mr. Cam G. Gentlemen, how are y'all doing on this Monday night?
Other than taxes, can eat shit, I'm doing great.
Okay. Cam, how you doing? You're muted, sir.
See, the thing I hate about this is I can mute it from here, and then I can also mute it from here, the setup. So I have like two different mute buttons. But anyways, other than it being sweltering hot outside, and me sweating profusely, I'm doing all right.
Right? Like I'm literally sitting here with my two window fans and a standing fan here, my window open over there, and I'm like, I am still sweating. Like last week, I'm complaining that the heat is on in my house and it's hot in here. And then I get the availability to open my windows and everything today, and I'm still hot.
See, that's weird that you guys say that, because for me, my weather is so fucking bipolar. It was like 90 degrees like WrestleMania weekend. And now like it's fucking windy as hell and chilly outside. But it's nice. It's still sunny, but it's chilly as hell.
Okay, Sean, but the one thing you don't have to fully deal with, because I know you have to deal with it, but your humidity levels are lower than what we have to deal with.
Yes.
Obviously it's dry as hell out here, but you know.
See, but there's a difference between dry and being humid.
Oh no, I hate, like, when I was in Texas during, like, even in spring, it was hot as hell, humid, and it was awful.
But gentlemen, it is Monday night. We are back here on the Table Spot. We are here to talk about Raw and a whole bunch of other things in the world of professional wrestling. But first, what is on your mind in just the world itself? Cam, you first. What's on your mind? What's been on your mind this past week?
Well, the one thing that's been on my mind is, I'm ready for Wednesday, because Wednesday I'm going to AEW Dynamite Live.
Nice.
I'm excited for Will Ospreay versus Claudio. I think that's going to be a banger. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to that mainly.
So what's really cool is they announced this past week that AEW is finally coming to Allentown, Pennsylvania. Literally, the arena is 5 minutes from my house, and they're going to be taping Rampage and Collision, and I don't care. I am going. It's on June 20th. I've been literally spamming, whatever you want to call it, bugging them on social media since day one for them to come to my city, and they are finally doing it, and I don't care if it's Rampage and Collision. I am going. I am. But I'm excited for you. You're going to your what? This is what, your second or third AEW show?
No, this is like probably my fifth now,
Damn.
at
Okay.
least. Yeah, I the only time I only missed them once, them coming here, and that was about it. Other than that, ever since their first show here, I've gone. So I've only missed one show that they've come here.
And that's the thing about AEW is you hear a lot of the bad chatter on social media and everything like that. But the one great thing about AEW is the tickets are so affordable.
Yeah.
They're so affordable. Like, if you love professional wrestling and you love to go to shows and the tickets are affordable, whether it's the indies, whether it's one of the big companies like AEW, WWE, MLW, TNA, whatever, if the ticket's affordable, fuck it, go, you know? And the AEW is very well known for having affordable tickets, you know? So,
I mean, it's that no matter what's going on, negative or positive,
exactly.
I'm still gonna go and have fun with it anyway. So
My cousin is a WWE head. Okay, he's a WWE fan. That's his company. And I messaged him about AEW coming to our city, and he laughed at me. And I said, I don't care if there's 5 people, 50 people, 500 people, or 5,000 people in that arena, because it's a 10,000 seat arena. Okay, I don't care. I'm going. I want to enjoy another AEW show because I went to World's End back in December, and I enjoyed myself. I want to go to another AEW show. They're enjoyable to go to, but that's awesome. I'm happy for you. You're going to go enjoy an AEW show. You're going to have fun, and that's great. That's awesome that you have a happy thought this week, because it's hard to have those nowadays. It is, because what's on my mind, it's a 50-50. But before we get to me, Sean, what's been on your mind this week?
Well, of course, TNA will release their meet and greet tickets for this weekend for the pay-per-view and the whatchamacallit, the tapings. Right after the taxes fucking Hulk fucked me in the ass this weekend.
whoa.
Okay.
But I was still able to get meet and greet tickets for a few of them. I'll probably get some more at the show. But I got PCO, Josh Alexander, Mustafa Ali. Hopefully this time I can get my Jordan Grace picture, and Masha Slamovich. So I'm excited.
It's not that
because I've met Masha Slamovich multiple times before, but I love her. So obviously I'm going to get another. Wish it was with Killer Kelly, but I understand. And that's what. And then next week, I got another wrestling event, and then I'm gearing up for Double or Nothing in May.
That's awesome. See, I'm happy for you guys. I really am. I truly, honestly am happy for you guys. You guys are looking forward to things to enjoy. Those are the things that are on your mind, and that is great. Don't let anybody take that away from you. Don't. Honestly. Me, on my mind, and what I mean by I'm 50-50, I'm happy and I'm a little upset. Slightly small 2 things. Number 1, little on the personal side. Everybody knows, it's very well known, back issues going on. Got a little bit of bad news. It's been on my mind the past couple of weeks. So right now I'm sitting here because I didn't have time to run downstairs to grab an ice pack. I literally, I have my foot stuck in my little mini fridge right now to ice my foot. Because I pretty much almost fell before the show. Literally 5 minutes before the show. So, you know. But the other thing that's on my mind is the fact of the jokes that I pull. I've come to realize that some of the jokes that I say, it's not so much that it's a PC thing. It's just so much of with the times. It's with the times. And I've come to think about this yesterday when I texted John to get ready for Red Zone. And I said a joke. And I said, you didn't find that funny, did you? And he said, no. I said, it's too old of a joke, isn't it? He said, yeah, it's very much played out. And I'm happy for the honesty, and I appreciate it. But the fact is I need to start coming up with more updated jokes. Because my jokes are outdated. I'm sure you guys agree with me on that one.
And I'm sure I'll find it funny.
Huh?
I'm sure I'll find it funny.
Yeah, I've said my joke. The joke that I said to John yesterday, I've said it to you a couple times. You didn't laugh.
I don't even remember what it is. So
I can't say it on air.
oh, okay.
I'm not looking to get in trouble. We got Will in the chat. We got Tommy in the chat. What's up, guys? Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. And before we get kicked off with things here tonight, talking about Monday Night Raw, I just want to remind everybody to head over to River City Radio and Off the Top Media's Twitch and YouTube channels. Hit that follow button, hit the subscribe button, turn your notifications on. Check out all the great content going on throughout the week here on the networks, like the Table Spot tonight, NXT on Tap tomorrow night. We got The Boom on Wednesday night, Boss Bitch Trivia on Thursday night. We got a special career retrospective on Thursday. Seth Rollins is the subject of discussion. And then Friday, we got Friday Night Review and Tommy's After Party on Friday nights. We got Botch and Chair Shots After Dark happening this week. And then Botch and Chair Shots and the Rivet City Red Zone on Sunday. So we got a whole list of great content going on throughout the network, not just professional wrestling. We got football, we got trivia, and so much more in between. Also, head over to patreon.com/Rivet City Radio. Check out all the great content going over there. Like Will, he puts up some recipes on there, some great recipes for everybody to check out. We got some articles, we got some interviews that are on there, special interviews for y'all to check out. And I promise it will not break your bank. So please head over to patreon.com/Rivet City Radio and check out all the great content going on over there. Now, I got to change this up because I kind of put this banner as a different banner last week because I hosted a Friday Night Review with Cam and Shadow, so I kind of changed this to SmackDown. Now it's Raw, so we're back to Raw, gentlemen. Monday Night Raw happened tonight out in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, and guys, as I always ask you before we get started with reviewing, do you have any initial thoughts? Not a grade, just thoughts on the show of itself. How did you feel about tonight's show before we discuss it?
I thought tonight flowed better than last week, the Raw after Mania, honestly.
Okay.
You know, we didn't have any segment that ran too long, and we didn't have, not really any awkward, well, I mean, I think there was, outside of maybe one, but there wasn't really any awkward hindrance, I guess, on the show tonight. Everything just really flowed really, really well. So,
okay, Sean, how did you feel about the show?
It was great, and then it kind of got dull through parts. Like,
okay,
there's a great flow, and then dull, and then great, and then dull, which I kind of hate when it does it. It's kind of like up and down, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as we run through Raw tonight, if you'd like to, because I'd like to honestly hear what parts you thought were a little down and what parts you thought were up. You know what I mean? Your opinion. So let's get into it, gentlemen. We kick things off with Rhea Ripley opening up the show tonight. And we found out earlier in the day that Rhea Ripley suffered an injury. Here's the thing is it's mentioned as it happened last week with Liv Morgan and everything that happened with the little backstage segment. But there's also the word that it actually happened pre-Mania, maybe even at Mania. But that's nor here or there. The thing is Rhea Ripley's injured, and she was forced to relinquish her WWE Women's World's Heavyweight Championship. Jax, welcome. Thank you for joining us here tonight. Appreciate you. But she was forced to relinquish her WWE Women's World's Heavyweight Championship after a 380-day reign. A great reign by a dominant champion. So we're going to kick things off, gentlemen. My first question to you is, what are your thoughts and how do you feel about Rhea Ripley having to relinquish the Women's World Championship? Sean, we'll start with you.
I just want to know, why is it? I just want to beg this question. Why is it when Roman's champion, he could take months off and keep the championship, or when a male competitor is injured for a certain amount of time, he gets to keep the championship. But they didn't even say how long Rhea's going to be injured for, but she has to come out and vacate the title. I just don't understand why they do this still, this trope. But if it's going to be interesting who they crown next week as women's champion. I honestly don't see. I don't know who they can crown. I don't see who like.
So I think you honestly just answered your own question, Sean. Is we don't know the extent of Rhea Ripley's injury, and therefore, right now we have 4 PLEs coming up in the next couple months. We got the King and Queen of the Ring. We got Backlash is the next pay-per-view. Then King and Queen of the Ring. We got Money in the Bank. And then we got another pay-per-view that's coming up. I forget which one it is, but we do have another pay-per-view coming up. Okay. And then you got SummerSlam. This summer is very much jam-packed with PLEs. And if they don't know the extent of her injury, you got to think if she's going to be out 3 months, okay, the rest of April, May, June, July, that's most of the summer. If it is a 3-month extended injury, there's a possibility she comes back by SummerSlam. But if it's a longer extended injury to the fact where she's going to have to get a surgery done, she's going to be out probably minimum 6 months, depending on what the full injury is. So I understand where you're coming from with, why is it, Roman or Seth or any male competitor? The thing is they knew the extent of their injuries. Roman being the champion that he was, that was all storyline. It was almost like you could take out Brock Lesnar, insert Roman Reigns when it came to his title reign. The extent. It was a storyline thing. So we still got to find out the length of her injury. But they're probably playing it safe right now, saying to themselves, we got to make sure that we have a champion. And if she's okay to come back sooner, then maybe put her back into the title picture and give her a shot. That could be it. But Cam, your thoughts on Rhea Ripley's injury, and how do you feel about it?
Well, first of all, very, very shocking way to start off Raw. I didn't hear anything about her being injured. Besides her nagging injury that she had, and especially going into WrestleMania. And if I had to guess, that's probably where it happened at. It's just a nagging injury that just got worse. Now, again, to what Sean was saying, I agree with what you were saying. And I think the reason they do that, they only do that when these certain injuries are uncertain, or these injuries are more known about said injury. The severity of injuries where they have to take several months off, then yeah, they have to drop the championships or whatever. And I think that's what the case with Rhea Ripley is. Her injury is really uncertain. She came out in a full sling, so it must be something more serious. They're probably still doing some more evaluations on it, and they're probably thinking, well, she's probably going to drop the title because we don't know exactly what's going on, and it might take months off of her reign. Whereas Roman, it's like, well, he's got the whole you got to think too. He's got the whole leukemia thing still going on. He says it's in remission or whatever, but after a while, being on the road, things like that takes a toll on your body and things of that nature. So him taking those weeks and months off here and there periodically through his championship reign just made sense, right? Also serves the purposes as in the storyline. So and the same thing with Seth. So but with Seth, it was like we know the severity of the injury. Like he can recover in time for said matches and things of that nature. So we only see said wrestlers, male or female for that matter, relinquish championships when the injury is uncertain. It's just up in the air. We don't know the severity of the injury, and they're still doing evaluations. Or we know the severity of the injury, and they're going to be gone for months at a time. But back onto the actual injury itself, very, very sad, kind of a devastating way to start off Raw tonight. Like I said, I didn't hear any news about this till I'd seen her come out in a sling. But honestly, like I said, 380-day reign, she was dominant. Nobody could stop her. I don't think this hurts her. This is probably a blessing in disguise for the women's division, because now you can put somebody in that role. Good luck, because I mean, whoever wins that title has some big shoes to fill. Now I will say this too. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I had this thought in my head when I was watching this. If they do have some sort of tournament to decide who's going to be the two contenders to fight for this vacant championship, do we even need a women's Money in the Bank now? I mean, you got to think about it, because they're going to have a tournament to decide the no more contenders for the championship. Then they're going to do another tournament-like thing to decide Money in the Bank qualifiers. Then have a ladder match for that. Then have a briefcase for that. So it's just like, do we really need all of that, or could we just do, instead of doing a ladder match, do like the top 5 contenders and do like a fatal 5-way? I'm just saying, I don't know. That's how I felt, because I feel like that's a lot of tournaments in 2, 3, 4 month times.
I guess skipping ahead, they said they're crowning the women's champion next week. So that's what they said on Raw. They're crowning the women's champion next week.
Because I honestly, me personally, I might have missed that.
I definitely missed it.
I
definitely missed it.
Yeah, I think I missed it too, and because I didn't even see what competitor was going to be competing for next week.
They didn't announce any competitors. They just said they're crowning a new women's champion next week.
Okay. Because I was going to say they can always, go back to what they did back in 2020, and the women's Money in the Bank match consisted of, Asuka winning. She won the women's championship because Becky was going out with pregnancy. They can always just save I know it's a while away, but that's something they can always do too. But again, they have a couple PLEs coming up. They're not going to want to keep that title off TV. They're not. That would be one way of doing it instead of having all these tournaments. But they're going to do it their way. But Sean, if you can, find out what competitors are going to be competing next week, because we're getting in the chat. Jax missed it. Cam missed it. I missed it.
They did it.
Said that they're competing for it next week. So if you can, figure that out and bring that up, please, that'd be great. What competitors and who's competing next week? But
it's next Monday Night Raw. It's right here on WWE.com. It's a picture. Next Monday Night Raw, a new women's world champion will be crowned.
Okay.
And there's nothing giving no information other than that they announced on Raw. So
okay. Well, hey. Then I guess we'll have to wait until next week to figure out. I'm sure we'll hear something throughout the week on what they're going to do as far as competitors and what type of match they're going to do and whatnot.
I saw Cam posting the table spot chat about Tiffany, how I think it'll be Tiffany Stratton. I think no, Mike, it's different. Trust me, it's different.
Find a way.
I think no, because
Cam, at least we made it 23 minutes in. We made it 23 minutes.
I'm making a point here, Mike. I'm saying no because
you're always making a point.
I want her to stay on SmackDown and win the Money in the Bank and cash in on Bayley.
SmackDown and not win the Money in the Bank.
They planted the seeds already for her and Bayley. So
why? I just have a question. Why is it?
Thank you, Matt.
Why is it? Yes, thank you, Matt. Thank you. Appreciate you coming in. Sean has me distracted right now. Cam, thank you for catching. Why is it that I swear, you have an agenda on your desk that, like, literally the top of your notes says piss Mike off, and then it probably has a pinpointed part of the show to do it. And tonight, last week, it was, I know I lost a bet, so we get 30 seconds in, I'm going to piss Mike off. Not 2 weeks ago, it was, we're going to get 40 minutes in, I'm going to piss Mike off. You know what? This week, I'm going to do it in the middle, 25 minutes into the fucking show, and piss Mike off. Have to find a way to bring Tiffany Stratton up because we're talking about Money in the Bank.
It relates, though. I was bringing up something relevant.
It doesn't. You know what, Sean?
Okay,
Sean. We could say Tiffany Stratton. You know what? I'm going to say Jade Cargill's going to win Money in the Bank. There.
No, God.
Don't know God me. Let's move forward. We had a returning superstar after pretty much a year. It's been a year since this man has been on TV. The Celtic Warrior himself, Sheamus, made his return, and he took on one half of the Viking Raiders, Ivar. Sheamus, with his entrance, took parts of his new music, his recent music, and a newer rendition of his original music as his entrance. Hold on a second. Let me introduce the match.
No. I'm just agreeing with you here. I'm agreeing.
To your point at me?
No, I'm not pointing at you. I'm just going like this.
But anyways, God damn it. Cam, your thoughts on this match? Just this man, I swear to God. Your thoughts on this match, Cam?
No, I thought this was great. You know, and the great thing about it too is that this doesn't hurt. This doesn't hurt Ivar. You know, Ivar is obviously preparing to fight Obafemi for the NXT North America Championship, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, I said it. You know, they definitely need to push him because he's been doing some good things and putting some people over. But now it's time to get him to get over. Time to push him into a better light. So I appreciate that. But Sheamus coming back, obviously. Love the entrance theme now. Bringing back some of the old school flavor that he used to have in his entrance theme. But yeah, he looks good. Looks good in the ring. Now we just need to get him into the Intercontinental Championship picture eventually. Maybe not right away, but eventually. Definitely would love to see him win that championship because that's one title he hasn't won yet. And personally, if you ask me, I think he has one more world title run in him before he's completely done. So
I do
overall good match.
Oh, sorry.
Overall good match. Yeah.
I do have a question for you because this was when he came back, and we've been seeing a lot of returns lately, like an AJ Styles, Randy Orton. You know, these guys coming back like in like great shape. How did you? What's your thoughts on Sheamus with his return and how do you feel about his? Do you have any comments on with his return?
He clearly did not train in the same hyperbolic chamber that Orton and Styles did. It's obvious.
Yeah.
But he's still strong. I mean, you saw him hit a top rope white noise with Ivar, and that's no little guy by any means. So he's definitely still strong. But physical shape, I don't know. It doesn't like he's been hitting the gym all that much, really.
Now, the reason why I asked you is because I'm not putting you on the spot. I just wanted to ask you because this was, your thoughts on this, and I wanted to ask this by finishing off your thoughts. My thoughts is like, I noticed it too. Like, you see a lot of these guys coming back and in great shape. And I'm not saying he was in bad shape. He's not. He's still strong as hell. Again, you mentioned the whole, like, the suplex, the white noise, avalanche white noise off the top rope and everything like that. He's still strong as hell. He was really gassed early in that match. That was the one thing I did notice. And again, I don't want to put any negativity on him because I'm happy as hell that he's back. Sheamus has been one of my guys since he's been in WWE, since he came to WWE in 2009. I was an instant fan of Sheamus, and I've always been a fan of Sheamus. Never lost my fandom for him, just like The Miz. I've always been a fan of The Miz. But tonight, it just... I don't know. I feel like it was a great return. It was a really good return, but I'm trying to say this without sounding like a complete jerk.
He had some ring rust.
Yes. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes. That's what I was looking for. He did. You could tell he had a little bit, but still a great showing. Sean, your thoughts?
Number one, Def Rebel finally did something fucking right.
Don't get used to it.
I'm not getting used to it. I'm just saying fucking surprised the hell out of me. I'm glad Too Many Lines is back. So, but I was happy to see Sheamus. I didn't notice his entrance until I went back on social media and everybody was tweeting about it. Because I went and took a shower like during his match. So I saw like most of it, but I'm happy he's back. He brought back the old attire too, the old like Sheamus 09 attire or his debut attire or whatever. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, there's some ring rust, but I'm sure you'll dust that off pretty quickly and get back to the old Sheamus we know and love.
So yeah, he brought back the old attire, but he's wearing the like almost like the MMA-esque
Like-
type of shorts that a lot of superstars have been rocking as of late.
They're like biker shorts essentially.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when
He's
TKO takes over.
But I'll say this: the gear looked really good. It
It
did. I
did.
liked it, and bringing back the old school look and everything like that. Sheamus is back. Sheamus is back, fellas. And
What
I'm-
I miss though is when Sheamus brought that one look back and everybody was like, "You look stupid."
Oh, he had the mohawk or whatever.
Yeah.
don't back on the mohawk. Man, I miss my mohawk.
No, I'm just saying it's like I'm just glad it wasn't back then, like or come back in full circle with that. So
Guys, I miss my mohawk. I really do. And I've thought about growing it back, but I don't think it's going to happen. I've attempted it twice. Didn't work. I should have never shaved it, but it is what it is. We're going to move forward. Triple H came out to the ring, and Adam Pearce was in the middle of the ring. We see a nice little podium sitting up there with a curtain over top of things, and we're thinking, what is this? And then you see it sitting there. And then we knew. Championships. We're getting new belts. Or a new belt, because it could have been just one belt. But it was pretty obvious it was two belts. Called out Awesome Truth and revealed the new WWE World Tag Team Championships. So we talked about this a few months ago when they started changing the whole, Raw and SmackDown championships to World and just WWE championships. And we talked about it, what they would call the tag team titles. And we mentioned it, they would probably call it the World Tag Team and the WWE Tag Team. We got the World Tag Team titles tonight. So, guys, your thoughts on these new looking belts? I mean, do you like them? Do you like the design? Is there something that you don't like about the belts? Let's pick them apart a little bit, guys. Sean, we'll start with you.
First of all, before I get into the belts, can we just talk about how fucking hilarious R-Truth is? Like, that man was like, now I've seen a bunny pulled out of a hat. I've seen this and that pulled out of a hat. Well, I've never seen a title. And he's like, I don't trust magicians ever since Little Jimmy. And it's like, that's not Triple H. That's Tommaso. Just R-Truth is just, oh my, he's a national treasure. But to the points of the tag team championships, I have pros and cons. Like, I think the cons are every title looks the same still. You got world title, women's world title, now the tag team champions all look the same. But
Did that on purpose.
But they look a hell of a lot better than what the titles used to look like. So that's a major pro for me. They look good. I just wish it wasn't the same design as the world in the women's world. I don't know. I wish the tag belts looked a little bit different.
So do yourself a favor, go in the shop and look at it, because they've been up there since minute 1 for pre-order, and get a really close look at the design. And I'll tell you what, right now, they look pretty good. I'll say that they do.
What really throws me off though is the red lettering. If it wasn't the red lettering, I understand why, but like maybe.
And that was going to be my question. Do those red lettering banners remind you of anything?
Yeah, like the throwback to the old world tag team, which is a nice touch. It's just with the kind of design they have is kind of like a little off-putting, but it still was a nice throwback touch.
Okay. Cam, your thoughts on the new tag team titles?
I loved them. I was like, oh, that's sick. That's so dope. To Sean's point, I mean, realistically, they don't look the same. I mean, yeah, it's the same design idea, but there's actually more detail in the center plate. and the red, I like that because they made it pop, you know, because everything else is just all gold. Like I like how perfect example. I like how Cody's belt is. Cody's belt side plates are the only side plates are in color. Everyone else's side plates are just black and gold. His side plates actually have color. I'm like, that's sick. That makes that belt look 10 times as better. And I didn't think it looked bad regardless, but just the side plates in color make it look dope. But this championship, yeah, those titles are sick. And then like the red lettering I like too, because to me it reminded me of like the European Championship. That's what it reminded me of. Because it has because you know how it has the red banner and the centerpiece, so it reminded me of the European title.
Yeah.
This overall the segment too, if I may, was a decent segment for what it was. But this was this was probably the one down for me about the show, just because of the fact that like, you know, R-Truth, you know, he was making some jokes, and it was like it wasn't really resonating with the crowd. Like it was like they would kind of laugh, and then some stuff he would say, they would just be like, "What is happening?" Like when he approached Triple H and he was like, "I don't trust magicians," and he like stepped towards Triple H. Everybody's like, "What is happening right now?" Like,
Yeah.
it was weird. Like it set an awkward tone for this whole segment. But other than that, though, I like the titles. I think they're dope.
So I came across a video on social media today, actually, and it was a video that takes us all the way back to 1999, and it was a match between R-Truth and AJ Styles, and it was from, I believe, an indie show, and it was a bits and pieces type of thing. It wasn't the whole match, and I'll say this: if we would have known them back then, we would have known these two were going to be stars. Just the performance that was put on between these two. If you guys have a chance, and I recommend this to everybody, if you can find it either on YouTube or even on social media, some way, shape, or form, look for AJ Styles and R-Truth from 1999. And guys, if I can find this video again, I will send it to you so you guys can see it. Amazing. But yeah, the R-Truth joking thing, and we've been saying it for weeks now. Some stuff's funny. Some stuff is like, okay, now it's getting ridiculous. It's at the point where sometimes you want that whole Ron the Truth killings to come out. You want that seriousness from him. And I think it will take, and I don't want to try and get too far ahead of thinking. I've been trying to do better with that lately, as of late too, with not trying to think so far ahead of things. Been trying to train my brain to not do that. But with him, if he stays in a long-term tag team with The Miz and we get The Miz to turn heel again, I think we can get that out of R-Truth somewhere down the line. That's as far as I got with that thought. I didn't think how they would do it or anything like that. I just said this is what we could possibly get. The titles, though, amazing looking. The detail is amazing looking. The whole eagle engravement in it, opposed to the helmets that you've seen on the belts that they were holding. Great detail. Awesome. So the strap design, it reminded me of the Attitude Era Winged Eagle Championship, but this was a little more circular. And some people have even made the comment that the design of the strap itself almost looked like the AEW Trios Championships, as far as the strap design, not the belt design itself, just the strap. So, but yeah, it was pretty awesome to get tag team titles, new tag team championships, and I'm sure come Friday we're going to see new titles over on SmackDown.
With those, do you think we're going to get the ones that look like
yes,
the WWE Undisputed? Oh, God.
Big W, yes, because that's what they're going with. Sean,
I know, but
it's the pattern that they're going with. The world titles are on Raw, and then you have the WWE titles over on SmackDown. It's the pattern.
I give it to the world titles. They look a lot better than just the big W to me. Like,
well, that's because the logo doesn't look ridiculously big. It doesn't take up most of the channel.
I know
That's why. But
I hope Cody can bring back the Winged Eagle somehow, and a new redesigned Winged Eagle. That would be sick.
that's going to be hard.
It will be, but I hope they can pull it off. I hope that.
That's going to be a little bit of a hard thing to do. But after this segment, we got 3 tag teams come out in a triple threat tag team match: DIY, the Creed Brothers, and the New Day in a number 1 contendership match for the tag team championships for next week on Raw. And I don't know about you guys, but this match was just jam-packed with action, especially around the last 90 seconds with everything that was happening. And it was pretty much like they were told, hey guys, your time is coming up. And I'm sorry, I'm going to quote this from over the watch along earlier tonight I was doing during this match of, it was pretty much like, get your stuff in, guys, because time is about to be up. So, and that's when everything just started picking up. We started seeing all different types of tag team moves between these teams. But at the end of the day, DIY ended up getting the win and becoming the number 1 contenders for these tag team championships. One thing we did notice during this, though, was the glitch. The glitch that we've been seeing.
I'm gonna bring that up.
I think we saw it during the Rhea and Liv brawl too. I think. I could have swore, unless I'm seeing things, I don't know.
I think this is the first QR code, though.
We got a QR code during the New Day's entrance,
Oh.
but you might be right. We may have seen the glitch during the Liv Rhea thing, if I can recall. I believe you're right on that one. But we got this glitch again, and we got a QR code as well. So, Cam, let's start with you. Your thoughts on this match and everything that went with it.
Like I said, once again, Triple H just putting together a great tag team match. The thing I would like to see going forward, obviously, is because I'm actually looking forward to Awesome Truth in their title run. Like I said, all things given to R-Truth, serious or not serious, whatever. I think it's going to be a fun comedic run for them. So I'm looking forward to seeing their run. But going forward, I think I would want to see more, let's just build storylines. I don't think we really need to have these multi-man, tag team matches anymore. That served a purpose for a time, especially going into Mania, because they were building, for this ladder match. So hopefully we just get, just good feuds, just good storylines going forward for Awesome Truth. Now, personally, I think that the New Day should have been the ones to win this, because I feel like, honestly, there's really no nice way of saying this, but I think they're the most irrelevant tag team in that match. Really, they don't really have anything going for them right now. They don't have anything. They're not tied up in anything. They don't have any storylines going right now. The Big E thing is kind of up in the air. So I feel like they should have been the ones to win this match. But I'm not mad that DIY won. Not at all. I just felt like New Day needed to win more. But other than that, though, it was a fantastic tag team match.
Yeah, there is one team that was in this match that might start getting involved in something. We'll get into that in a little bit, and I think I know where. I think with what you just said, I have a feeling that our minds are on the same page. You know what? I'll bring it up real quick before we get Sean's thoughts on this match. But there was a video that happened a little later on the night. It was a video package showing Chad Gable getting ready for his match against Sami Zayn in the main event. And who was there helping him? The Creed brothers. So I don't know if that was on your mind or not with the whole being involved in something, but the Creed brothers. And we could talk about that a little later because something happened after the main event. We'll talk about that in a bit. But Sean, your thoughts?
Before I do the tag team, did you guys scan the QR code or anything?
No. I did. I scanned the QR code after the match for the action figure that we got shown to us, but no, I didn't scan that QR code.
Okay, so there's a bunch of Easter eggs and everything. I'll let you sort, but the source code, that somebody had the source code, and in it, it's a hidden message saying, I think it says something like, a door is open for strangers to become friends. Obviously, we're getting Uncle Howdy. I don't know if this is a tease to a debuting superstar with Uncle Howdy that's coming in from an outside company or free agent or something, or if it's like a returning like Eric Rowan, maybe, like, because I know Eric Rowan had to cancel scheduled things. So it's just interesting to see where this goes with Howdy, and or if he's going to be Taylor or Bo or whatever.
That's the thing. We don't know.
Right.
People are speculating that we're getting Uncle Howdy, but we could get something completely different. Personally, I think we're getting, Uncle Howdy sprinkled in there, but I don't think we're getting Uncle Howdy. I think we're getting something completely different. That's what I think.
So,
Right.
you guys want to hear something? And I'm sure you guys know this, but I'm going to throw this out there really quick. I've come across conversations about if Taylor could be the Fiend or not. Okay, because that was Bray's character. But here's the thing: is the Fiend is supposed to be a demon that manifests into somebody, and the Fiend manifested into Bray. So Taylor can still be the Fiend because the Fiend can manifest into him, and he could bring out that new design that was created for Bray before we lost Bray.
I was thinking that too.
Possibilities, and that's why I said I'm sure you guys had this on your mind because it is a pretty obvious thing. I'm just throwing that out for the viewers that giving them a little bit of thought if they weren't thinking it. Just throwing that out there for them.
I wasn't thinking that. That's a good idea. It's
Here's two ideas I have piggybacking off of that you just said, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
First idea is what if the Fiend idea, like the aura around him, what if it's like a mantle kind of thing, and Taylor is like the next up to take up the mantle of the Fiend? Or my other theory is, what if, and this is kind of like a Marvel-esque kind of thing,
Throw it
but
out.
what if the Fiend is kind of like a symbiote kind of thing,
Okay.
and it's just attached itself to Taylor?
I just want to say one thing, Cam.
What?
I'm glad you can at least throw yourself into that little bit of mix of talking about.
I'm just saying.
Hey, and it makes sense. It makes sense.
Ooh.
Seriously.
Ooh. What if like we get like a vignette of like Taylor looking at like the Fiend mask and like just reminiscing about Bray, and you hear like these whisper, like it's a horror movie, like whispers coming from like him looking at the Fiend mask, like almost as like it's talking to him.
And that would be the demon of the Fiend manifesting.
Yes,
That would be sick.
That's what it would be. Is it
hire us.
so?
But to the
Tag
tag team match, I was actually going for the Creed brothers. Like I kind of wanted the Creed brothers to get that push. I hate their theme music because it's Def Rebel, but Creed brothers always impressed me since NXT. It took me a little bit to get into them in NXT with Diamond Mine, with Roddy and all of it, but they've impressed me on the main roster. They're still doing good, and I wanted that push, but DIY is another good choice. I don't know. For me, I just don't like anymore. I just don't like baby faces versus baby faces anymore. I like my heels versus baby faces. I understand, that they need to do it sometimes, but it'll be a good match either way. DIY and Awesome Truth.
and this could be the opportunity for the Miz and R-Truth to turn heel.
Well, you brought up a good point that we'll talk about later about, so
This could be it. This could be the opportunity to turn them heel. Because if you look at it right now and you look at the tag team division on Raw, okay, DIY, baby faces, Awesome Truth, baby faces, Creed Brothers, baby faces, Viking Raiders, heels. What other tag teams? The Judgment Day,
they are heels.
heels. Okay, so right now you look at it and there's more baby faces than heels. Heels are normally about 65% of the time the champions that are getting chased. Sometimes it's the babyface that's getting chased, but most of the time you see your heels getting chased by the babyfaces. This could be the opportunity for them to turn Awesome Truth heel. Not saying it's going to happen, but it's an opportunity for them to do it. It's an opportunity. But yeah, great tag team match. Awesome last 90 seconds, especially for these teams. And next week, DIY takes on the Awesome Truth for the WWE World Tag Team Championships. We had another tag team match happen after that, and it was Maxine Dupree and Ivy Nile taking on Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. This match was about 5 minutes. I will say this, gentlemen. I was writing notes down for the show tonight as this match started, and I literally looked up, I blinked, looked down at my paper, and this match was over. This wasn't long. It's a very short match. Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell ended up getting the win. So if you guys have any thoughts on this match, go for it. Cam, if you want.
Okay.
Sean, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead, Sean.
I think it was you, Mike, that said they're going to turn Indy heel with Candice. Like,
why not?
So yeah, no, I'm saying that's what it seems like they're doing. So I just want to give you props for, like, you know, you're saying like turn her heel. So I was like, I don't know. I was skeptical, but what they're doing is obviously turning her heel. I guess I'm glad they're not breaking up another women's tag team. So the match itself was where it kind of started getting dull for me, and Raw was one of those dull up and down moments.
And I don't mean to cut you off, but here's the thing: is the reason why I said turn Indy heel is especially that reason why. Why break up a women's tag team? Their women's tag team division right now is starting to build up just like the men's tag team division is happening. Sadly enough, it's happening a little slower. It is. It's happening a little slower, but they are building it. If you break up a team like Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae, you lose a tag team. Yeah. Then you have two more women in the singles division to where they're going to do absolutely nothing right now, even though there's a vacated world championship sitting right there on Raw. You know damn well they're not going to be involved in that. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But it's more of a chance they're not going to. So why not take the one who is the initial babyface and throw her hands up and say, you know what? Fuck it. If I can't beat it, join it. And stay as a tag team.
Yeah.
Best way to do it. And you have another heel tag team to chase after the women's tag team championships. Now, the women's tag team titles is on a heel team right now, but eventually, when they end up on a babyface team, you have a heel team to go after them. This is the point of what I mean by sometimes you get the heels that chase, and this could be that case. So, Cam, your thoughts?
Well, initially when this match started, and I seen that Maxine was in it, I was just like, why? Why are we doing this again? But I've got to admit that she definitely impressed me because she's definitely improving. She hit a clean fisherman suplex, bridging into a pin. So she's definitely improving slowly but surely. I just think where she's rough around the edges right now is selling. That's the only thing right now I think she's really rough on. Other than that, she definitely is improving. And like I said, to your point, when you had said that they should turn Indy heel, which I agreed with from the beginning. Yeah, it seems like that's what they're doing because, you know, she had attacked Indy, or not Indy. She had attacked. Oh gosh, why am I blanking right now? I just said her name. Maxine. Yes, thank you. Indy had attacked Maxine behind the referee's back and then dragged Candice on top of her. Ref turns around 1, 2, 3. So I like that, and that tells me that I think they're going forward with having them two as a heel tag team, which I think is going to be great. So overall, not much to really break down with this match. Essentially, it was there and then it wasn't. But overall, I mean, if this pushes, you know, that tag team forward as heels, I'm for it. I just don't know what else they can really do with this. You know, if you want to keep that heel momentum going for Indy and Candice LeRae, they got to move them on to something else because, you know, beating up on Maxine and Ivy Nile is not really going to do much for them after a while.
And I was gonna say, just to build off of what you said, this was basically a spot to move forward with what they're doing, and they didn't have to take long to do it. They didn't have to take up a lot of TV time to do it. Sadly enough, yes, we don't see a lot of time put into the women's division, but this is them getting to their point for the night to move forward to what they're going to do in the future with this. So, if you guys agree with me on that, that's why I always like to say we all have our own opinions on things, and that's why we get to sit here and talk professional wrestling. It makes for great conversation. So, we got a really cool Damian Priest video package after this match. Awesome video package. Again, WWE doing some great things. We got to see stuff from when he first came into WWE through his NXT days, coming up to the main roster, beating Sheamus for the United States title, tagging up with Bad Bunny, turning on Bad Bunny, and just his ultimate rise to where he's at today as the world's heavyweight champion. So, really cool video package. I don't know if you guys have any quick thoughts on this with his video package.
I mean, ultimately, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but he's still losing in June.
I mean,
you know,
and I said this earlier tonight during the watch along. I said that, and I believe I said it to you guys too. Like, this is basically his test run to see how he is as a world champion, see how he does in these 60 days, and whether they can plug him back into this spot somewhere down the road, or say, you know what, it's not going to fit. And so far, the past week has been really good. Like, he's done really good. I don't know if you guys caught any of the stuff that's been online as far as interviews with him, but I mean, he's just been doing a great job with being the world champion and showing his love and props to not only Seth, but Drew and everybody who's been involved with the world title before he got his hands on it. Excuse me. So, we then got the Judgment Day backstage. They talked about Rhea, leaving. They didn't know what they were going to do. And Damian lifted his guys up and said, look, Rhea's got to get herself healed up and everything, but we're going to keep moving forward. We're going to keep fighting. Dom, you got to go out there and beat Andrade tonight and show him a lesson. Finn, you got to go out there and win your match tonight. But then Finn stopped and said, I understand we got to, get our wins tonight and everything, but maybe we should think about trying to get the tag team titles back. But that's the question is, Finn was teaming with Damian. Does Finn team with JD? Does he team with Dom? So my question for you guys is, who would you want to see Finn tag with since Damian's the world champion? Go ahead, Sean.
I don't understand why don't they just do the fucking Freebird rule? Like, all of them could be tag team champions and defend it throughout the Judgment Day. Like,
I mean, that was the thing is Rhea was the women's world champion, and Finn Balor and Damian Priest were the tag team champions. They tested the Freebird rule with the New Day. Did it work? Yes, because there was 3 members. But you look at the New Day, and they have more than 3 members. They have 5 members. So if they did the Freebird rule, like what? One night you get Finn Balor teaming up with Dom, and then the next night JD teaming up with Damian, and maybe the next night it's JD and Dom. That would get a little confusing. And I'm not saying so much for fans that understand everything that's going on. I'm talking about the new generation of fans. And I mean, like, the kids that are getting into it. And what I mean by this is, since WrestleMania last week, okay, we've seen videos all across social media of kids emotionally involved in the Cody Rhodes story, okay? So now that they're understanding Damian Priest and Finn Balor are the tag team champions. If they were to see JD McDonough and Dom come out and defend the tag titles, they're going to sit there and wonder, like, hold on, wait. Finn Balor and Damian Priest are the tag champions. Why are these guys coming out? Like, it would probably confuse them a little bit. Us as fans, we've been watching this so long, we would understand that. We would know what they're doing. but this newer generation that they're trying to attract, that would confuse them. That's my thought. I understand where you're coming from, but that's my thought of why they wouldn't do it right now. But
Then have JD and Dom, and then have Finn go after the Intercontinental while Priest is still world.
they can do that. That would make sense. But Cam, do you have any thoughts on that?
I mean, I think initially, I think they keep Finn Balor with just, you know, I don't know. I think they keep them with JD and Dom, keep the three of them together, and you know, they just work as a trio mainly. You know, Priest obviously is going to still be with him, but he's going to be, you know, pretty much tied up in his singles run as World Heavyweight Champion.
Mhm.
So I think just the three of them just kind of work as a trio for a while. So, and if they were to win the titles back, yeah, they probably could do the Freebird thing. So,
Okay. Sounds good. We got the match between Dom and Andrade after this segment. We got back from commercial. Andrade was making his entrance. Then we hit the commercial. We got back, and we got Dom Mysterio come out. Andrade and Dom faced off. Not a bad match. Not a bad match. Not a bad showing by both men. Andrade ultimately getting the win, obvious. And then after the match, JD McDonough ended up attacking Andrade. But then we got Ricochet come out to help Andrade to go after the Judgment Day. So, really cool thing, though. I'm going to say this right now. They're keeping Ricochet on our TVs. That's what I'm happy about. I'm a fan of Ricochet. This is a personal fandom thing for me because they've been building Ricochet up all the way up until Mania. Then we don't see him at Mania, does nothing. And now they keep the momentum going with him with keeping him on TV. Smart move or not smart move, Cam?
I think that's a great move. Very smart move. Very smart decision. If you know they've been building momentum, that's what I like to see, though, right? Because I like seeing stuff on a part of my wrestling programming that just makes sense. Everything they show, every little bit of just everything they show, whether it be vignettes, promos, what we see in matches, all of it has to matter at some point. You know, they're taking up this TV time. If they're showing it to us, then it should make sense to a degree.
Yeah.
Versus them doing an angle and then a couple weeks later it just falls apart and we don't see it, and they never explain why we saw that. So I like how they're building his momentum. He's been on a winning streak. He didn't win the Fatal 4-Way match, but he never took a pinfall. So he's still kind of sort of on that win streak. And so this is just keeping him involved and just keeping him on our screen. So I think they've got something big planned for Ricochet. Like I said, the draft's coming up, so he can always hit that reset button, go to SmackDown. Who knows? So they're definitely keeping him a part of our programming because they've got something planned for him. So I'm looking forward to it.
Would you agree that even he didn't take the pinfall in that Fatal 4-Way, they're keeping him strong? Is that safe?
Absolutely. I think that's why that was designed for.
And that's the thing is this is why WWE is doing so great, is because they're starting to take superstars that you wouldn't think would be in certain spots, and they're inserting them. Like Ricochet, after he lost the Intercontinental title over 660 days ago, it's been about 680 days now since he lost the championship. We haven't seen much of him. And now they're building him up. They said, okay, let's take Ricochet, who we know can do great in-ring stuff. But now they got to find a way to insert him into some type of storyline. Would you like to see him and Andrade ultimately form a tag team? Or would you like to just see them just do something for now, but not be a tag team ultimately?
I think just do something for now, but not a long-term tag team necessarily.
Agreed.
Like I said, they still need to, you know, find a way that gets Andrade over right now. Again, like I said, the bread and butter is right there, and it's Zelina Vega. I'm sorry. I was thinking about this, and it's like peanut butter and jelly. It's like you just can't have one without the other. And Andrade's best stuff in WWE before he left was with Zelina Vega.
Yeah.
You take that away and it just doesn't feel right. It feels like something's missing. So they got to find a way to get her back. The draft again is a way, but like they got to find a way to get her back by Andrade's side. In terms of Ricochet, like I said, right now him with Andrade makes sense because they're both having issues with Dom and the rest of I almost said Damage Control with the rest of Judgment Day. But yeah, so that just makes sense right now. Again, you're just kind of meshing together all of these storylines that are going on right now. So for the time being, it's a cool tag team, but long term, no. I mean, Ricochet already had a weird makeshift tag team with Braun Strowman that I didn't really care for, but ultimately, right now, if it keeps him active, it keeps him busy right now, sure. But down the road, I definitely want to see what they got building for him as a singles wrestler.
Yeah, and what they can do too is at WrestleMania they kind of teased having Andrade and Zelina together because they were in the same match together and involved in the same situation. But they can always build it towards like a little rivalry between Andrade and Ricochet, and somewhere involve Zelina. Like maybe like when they get to the draft, they both get drafted to the same show. Like Zelina gets drafted to Raw, okay, because she's on SmackDown right now. Ricochet, Andrade can get kept on Raw, draft Zelina to Raw, and Zelina can kind of go to Andrade and be like, you know, look, you're winning your matches, but you're not doing them in this dominant fashion you should be doing it in. So let me help you get back to where you were before you took your journey away for that little time that you were gone. And then just something simple to get us back to Zelina and Andrade. Maybe. So real quick, Sean, we'll just get an answer from you. We've seen Andrade get helped by Ricochet after his match with Dominic Mysterio after beating Dom. So Ricochet's been on a hot streak and building up to WrestleMania. We didn't see him at WrestleMania. He came back, was in a Fatal 4-Way match, didn't win the Fatal 4-Way match, didn't get pinned. Keeping Ricochet strong, if you would agree on that, be my question is, do you feel like they're keeping Ricochet strong? One, and two, Cam answered this. He said not long term, but would you want to see Ricochet and Andrade be a long term tag team moving forward, or just for now to take care of things with Judgment Day?
Well, I said this during Raw. They're doing this. Andrade is doing the same shit he was doing in AEW, just having pointless matches. But now he is actually leading up to a storyline with Judgment Day, and now that Ricochet is helping him, I would like to see it just for now, because they're kind of before WrestleMania pushing Ricochet as this single star, and then it kind of just looks like it's going to go. So I would like to see it just for now, and then have them go their separate ways.
So you're saying that Ricochet is pretty much going to drop again? Is that what you're saying? You feel like Ricochet is just going to lose the momentum at some point?
Maybe if they have him in a tag team for too long. Yeah.
Is that something you'd like to see as a fan?
As a tag team?
No. Would you like to see Ricochet lose the momentum that he's on?
No, not really. You know, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Ricochet, but you know.
Okay. Moving forward, we got a Jey Uso interview backstage. We went to a commercial break, and then we had Chelsea Green and Piper Niven take on Carter and Chance. A great showing again by Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. We've seen them on SmackDown. They had a great showing over there. They come back to Raw, have a great showing here with Carter and Chance. I mean, Carter and Chance, again, a established tag team who we could see become women's tag team champions again at some point. But Chelsea Green and Piper Niven have been strong the past couple weeks, whether they lose or win. Chelsea and Piper end up getting the win on this point. But guys, do you have any thoughts on this match? Sean, we'll start with you.
I'm happy. My Chelsea Green finally gets a win again. Like they've been doing Chelsea dirty these past couple of weeks with jobbing out to Jade Cargill, and they finally gave her the dub against Katana and Kaden. I think that's I say it right? Yeah. So I hope they stay strong, Chelsea and Piper. People going back and forth between, I want Chelsea Green to win the Money in the Bank. I'm not going to say it because it's going to piss Mike off. I want her to win the Money in the Bank. I was like, no, I would love Chelsea to win as well, but keep her in that tag team. Keep her in the tag team with Piper. They work well together. I want them to see them as women's tag team champions one time. That would be awesome. And this match, I'm happy Chelsea wins.
Cam, Sean felt the eyes just ultimately go right on him. That moment that he stalled, he knew it. He knew it. Because we were 23 minutes in and we're now an hour 10 in. We were almost an hour away from the last time he pissed me off. He felt the eyes. I'm just saying. But Cam, your thoughts?
I honestly think that this tag team they're on borrowed time. I don't think this tag team lasts a whole lot longer, to be completely honest with you.
Okay.
I think they win here just to keep them relevant. But I can ultimately see Piper Niven getting fed up with Chelsea Green. I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. Yeah. She ends up turning on Chelsea Green, and I'm all for that because, again, like I said, Piper Niven I think has more to offer, and I was thoroughly impressed with her last outing that they had, the last tag match they had before this one. So and I think she'd be a great addition to having a singles run. A small feud with Chelsea Green after the turn, but ultimately I think she would benefit from, especially like I said, with Rhea being hurt. It's just, again, there's a void there that they need another top face, another top name to really break out and make an impact. And I think she could be one of those people to do that. So not much with this match, really. They're just trying to keep the women's tag team division alive, essentially. We haven't really seen the Kabuki Warriors since Mania, I don't think. But we'll see what happens there.
After this match, we ended up getting Cody Rhodes come out and do an in-ring. Now, yeah, I mentioned about Jey Uso doing an interview, and he mentioned about, we're seeing new members. Just a hint, he said we have new members coming in that we didn't even know was there. Kind of weird to kind of reference the we part. Did he mean the fans and other superstars? Did he mean himself with the bloodline? Maybe. Don't know. We'll have to find out moving forward in the next couple weeks, months, through 2024. But anyways, Cody Rhodes came out, cut a promo, talked about The Rock and what The Rock had to say to him. He then went on to introduce Jey Uso, and Jey Uso came out and he asked Jey, he said, "Thank you, Jey, for being in my corner at WrestleMania. I'd like to be in your corner during your match tonight." But Jey said he's got to do this on his own against Finn Balor. And Cody respected that. And, Cody decided to say, "Until we yeet again." Not me. Yeet. And we then got Jey Uso and Finn Balor, which was a really, really good match. And I'll say this. I thought Finn Balor was going to win this match. I thought somebody from the Judgment Day was going to come out and get involved in this match. But no, they kept it one-on-one. Kept it clean, kept it one-on-one. Jey Uso ended up getting the win here against Finn Balor tonight. Gentlemen, your thoughts on Finn Balor and Jey Uso's match and the Cody Rhodes promo. Cam, we'll start with you.
I kind of want to see Finn Balor get another singles run. We've seen him with the Judgment Day for so long. It's just kind of like he's real to me. It's like, and I know he was just one half the tag team champions, but he's becoming one of those underrated, superstars, and it shouldn't be that, especially when he had so much hype with him originally, and you never know when he was gonna, turn into that persona of the demon Finn Balor and all this different hype that he had. He's kind of taken the back seat, now to Damian and Rhea and Dom and all this. So I would love to see him get like a singles run away from the Judgment Day completely. But I understand the role he plays right now. But overall, this is a decent match. This match was specifically set up just to give Jey Uso another win, make him look strong going into his match. I think that's at Backlash against Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight title.
Yep.
So overall, good match. Both of them did great.
Yeah, I agree with you on the Finn Balor thing. Like ever since the Judgment Day, the start of the Judgment Day, it feels like they took that aura that should be around Finn Balor. You would think he'd be like this big, important persona because of the whole Demon King thing and then the Prince. Like, for a little bit before he came back to do the Judgment Day, it was like they were trying to keep that momentum down in NXT, because I know he was down in NXT for a little bit. Even though I didn't watch, I knew what was going on down there. But it was like that was their last grasp of that. And then when we got to WrestleMania with him and Edge, it was like, okay, we got the Demon, but we really didn't get the Demon. It was almost like we got just this character. Like they took that aura away from him, and it's been gone ever since. Because you think of it, you would think he'd be the leader of the Judgment Day. You would think he would be that guy to be like pulling the strings and telling everybody where to do it, where to go, and what to do. Instead, and I don't have a problem with this, but listening to Rhea Ripley, Damian Priest is taking control. He's not. And he never did. He might have tried for 1 week, but it just didn't work. He's just that superstar that's there again, and it's sad to think about, because he still has a lot left in him to be that superstar. And I don't know about you guys, but I almost feel the same way with Shinsuke Nakamura. Like they're trying to hang on with what he does, but it's just not sticking.
I definitely agree with that. I feel like their last grasp with him was the Last Man Standing match with Seth.
Yes.
Since then, it just has not felt the same.
But Sean, your thoughts on this match, the Cody promo, and even if you have thoughts what we're talking about here with Finn Balor and Shinsuke, like, how do you feel about it?
Cody's promo is Cody's so corny. He's fucking corny, bro. Like, I don't know. Him as champion just got even more cornier. I'm sorry.
He's the world champion.
He's a corny world champion, though.
Or he's the world champion.
It's just that. Tell me.
I think that's going to be his. I think that's going to be his thing, though. Just like dad jokes and things like that.
It's kind of awful, man. Like I don't like. Granted, I like Cody. I like him, but it's corny, man. Like
calling him corny,
huh?
You like him, but you're calling him corny.
Because what he's saying is corny. Till we yeet again. Like, dude, come on, bro. Like, you sound like you're trying too hard.
I have a question for you, Sean. Okay. Now, you and your friends, do you have inside jokes?
Yeah.
Okay. So your inside jokes, if you were to tell them to people, do you think that maybe other people would think they're corny, but they're not corny to you?
My inside jokes aren't corny, though.
How do you know that? They could be to other people.
And to be honest, it's probably shit I can't say in public or I'll get canceled for it.
we could test it out when we get off air tonight. But my point is you and your friends have inside jokes, and they could be like you and your friends might think it's funny and everything like that, but they can end up being corny to other people. Thus, Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso, this is their inside thing.
Yeah, but
you're a fan of him and you like him, but you're saying he's corny.
It's just like I just want his promos not to be that corny, right?
You also have to remember is that he's trying to play up to the younger generation that's getting into this, and he's got to sound funny to them.
I know, and that's what sucks. Like,
He's not trying to pander to you. He's trying to pander to them.
it's
You're a
like
30-year-old. You're a 30. We're 30. We're in our 30s. Cam's in his 20s. Okay, we're grown ass men. We know it's corny. It sounds corny. It sounds stupid. It is what it is. But he's trying to pander to the younger crowd that he knows is going to laugh.
It's just the remnants of the PG era, though. It's like I get it, but it's just like, come on, bro. It's just like suffering succotash all over again. Like,
No, nothing as bad as that.
well,
Nothing as
nothing,
bad as
but to the point of the match, it was a good match. For some reason in my head, I was getting a little Mike-esque in my head to where I was like, this is be good time for Jacob Fatu to come out and just destroy the shit out of Jey Uso. Jacob Fatu. I know he signed. Jacob Fatu. And I wasn't disappointed when it didn't happen. I was just like, damn.
You're in for a long, drawn out story.
Right.
So they're not gonna give you Jacob Fatu for a while. I think they're gonna, if this does play out like everyone's been saying at War Games, we got ways to go. So buckle up.
And then
You need to remember it is April. Well, on our side of the world, it's April 16th. On your side of the world, it's still April 15th. Okay? War Games isn't in for another 6.5 months. So buckle up, Buttercup, because you're in for a ride.
And then the thing with Finn and Shin, Finn and Shin.
Say
I
what?
think finish him. It sounds like Mortal Kombat. Finish him. Like, but to my point is, if I get too distracted, I think that'd be just best if they leave the company, leave and go somewhere else, back to New Japan, maybe AEW, something. Just get their aura back. Like, they need, because it's dead in WWE. I'm sorry, it's dead. It's Vince is the one that fucked up everything for them.
So my opinion, I think Shinsuke Nakamura would be able to save his career by going back to New Japan, but I think Finn Balor at this point wouldn't.
You think he'll be better off maybe like a rejuvenated Finn in AEW?
No. I think what they need to do with Finn Balor is to get him, number one, once the Judgment Day implodes, because it's going to happen. With Rhea being away, it's going to happen. Get him off TV. Make us forget about him. Get him built up. Make us miss him. And bring him back as a dominant. That's the bad part is, and I don't want to get too deep into this, but Finn Balor isn't the biggest guy. Okay, so it's not like you can bring him back and expect him to beat somebody like a Braun Strowman or even a Damian Priest in 2-3 minutes. Have him come back and beat somebody like a Dom Mysterio, a JD McDonough, a Ricochet, somebody that's up to his stature. Quick, get up, get in, get out. Dominance. Build him up. Power him up to the fact where he can take on those guys that are up there like a Damian Priest, an Ivar, like that. Build him up and get him to the point where he needs to be at. They can save him within the company, but they're going to have to build him. Shinsuke Nakamura, like Cam said, that last gasp was in that last man standing match with Seth. Shinsuke Nakamura would benefit more going back to a New Japan. Not even him going to a TNA or AEW would help him. New Japan would be the perfect spot for Shinsuke Nakamura. That's my opinion. Now, if your opinion consists of them going to another company, then so be it. Hell, let's try it. Let's see how it goes. But my opinion is Shinsuke at New Japan, Finn Balor gets built up within the company and go away for a little bit and build up.
I mean, it worked. It did work wonders for Mustafa with that promo he cut last.
But he
Was
went
it this-
elsewhere. He went
last weekend. That was
And you got to think, Mustafa Ali, before he got released, he was down in NXT and he was the number one contender for the
North American.
North American Championship. Number one contender for a championship, and he got released. That sucks. And then he was able to go elsewhere and build himself up, and now he's this, somewhat of a dominant figure. I mean, shit, look at Jack. Let's bring him up for a second. Jack Perry. Look at him. He's out of AEW. All that shit that's surrounding him there.
The greatest professional wrestler of our generation.
But he's in New Japan now, and he's catching eyes and ears. Even for him just showing up on camera and wearing jackets or shirts that say Scapegoat or,
Crimea River.
Like, he's catching attention. That's what Finn Balor needs. He's not catching people's attention. And that's what he would need. Mustafa Ali did it perfect. Caught people's attention. Jack Perry did it perfect. Caught people's attention. Again, my opinion. You guys could have a perfectly different opinion, and that's great. Because I would love to hear your guys' opinions on that. Cam, do you think that Jack Perry, Mustafa Ali caught fire with doing what they're doing right now?
Absolutely. Well, for one of them, yeah. I would say that was for Mustafa Ali. Maybe that's a biased thing to say because I really don't like Jack Perry, but that's because I'm a CM Punk guy. But I feel like Jack Perry is literally just using the controversy surrounding the whole CM Punk situation, and he's kind of using that. So it is working for him in some degree.
Yeah.
In terms of an overall character right now, and just being better when after leaving WWE, it's definitely working more for Mustafa. I think, it took me a while to really catch on to this like politician heel that he is right now in TNA, because I just didn't really fit Mustafa right now to me. But now it's starting to like really like sink in for me, and I'm like, okay, now I can see it, and I think he's doing great things right now. It's like the Mustafa in WWE and Mustafa now is like night and day. Like, it's not even the same person. So, yeah, for sure, absolutely.
Another perfect example, Nick Nemeth. Look at him. He leaves WWE. He lost all traction in WWE. He left. He goes to TNA. He goes to New Japan. Catches traction in both. He's even on a radio show every Friday morning. Doing great on that. Like, he caught traction.
He's a wanted man.
Gaining
He's
eyes.
a wanted.
Hell, you can even look at somebody like a Matt Cardona. Look at him. Left WWE and now he's, out there. But I'm with you, Cam. I'm not a fan of what Jack Perry's doing. I'm a CM Punk guy myself. I am. But he's using things to his advantage to catch the eyes and ears.
I guess I'm the only non-CM Punk guy here, huh? Like,
yeah. So pipe down over there.
That's because you just like to piss people off.
Jack Perry cured cancer. So
okay,
stop.
That's enough out of him.
Yeah, just stop. Just stop. On to the main event. After Jey Uso's match, he walked through the crowd, walked to the outside. Sami Zayn was standing out there. They're both looking up, and Sami says, "This is where I came here to start watching wrestling, and now I'm bringing a championship back here." Number one, great camera work with following Jey, and then following Sami back into the arena. Sami Zayn running around the arena, pandering to the crowd, and we got ready to go to a commercial break, and you pretty much see him say, "Whatever, let's go round again," and does his rounds again. We come back from commercial, we get the intros to this match. Great back and forth match between him and Chad Gable. This match needed to happen, and I will say this, guys, if you don't mind, I'm going to go first on this one. This match needs to happen again because this match was amazing. Great back and forth, great counter moves. It's almost like these guys knew each other and what they were going to do. Chad Gable, great work on Sammy's ankle, really paying attention to the ankle, trying to take him out by that. There was even a point where he did a moonsault off the top rope and turned it into a ankle lock. Like, that was insane. And then there was one point where Sammy did a suplex and almost dropped him on his head. That was nasty. But Sami Zayn hits the Helluva Kick, gets the 1-2-3, wins the match. And then after that, they go to show each other love, and Chad Gable sticks the knife right in Sammy. And now we are getting a heel Chad Gable. And this brings me to my point of, could we see a new faction forming of Chad Gable and the Creed brothers? Maybe. Gentlemen, your thoughts on everything involving this segment. Cam, we'll start with you.
I said it before when, Sami Zayn first won the Intercontinental title when he beat Gunther. If we see matches more like this, I don't have any concerns about the reign that Sami Zayn is going to have. Not at all. And this is what I said when I said, this is what I mean when I said, if the reign goes back to what it was, if the championship goes back to what it was, where before Gunther had won the championship, not being on TV and just literally being considered a mid-card title, being treated as such, if not lower, like how it was in the previous previous regime, then forget about it. We've flushed everything Gunther has done for that championship down the drain. But never mind Sami Zayn. People were so focused on Sami Zayn being the one in the streak and not Chad Gable. They're not focusing on who is in charge right now. Triple H is not going to allow that title to just become irrelevant again. And this is what I mean. It being in the main event, like, come on, it's a mid-card title being in the main event. So you're already highlighting it in that manner. And then you put a challenger, the caliber of Chad Gable, we know he can go. We know he can go in the ring. He's literally this generation's Kurt Angle. He's the closest thing we're probably going to see of a Kurt Angle again. Period. And if they put them, now they've turned him heel, which I agree with wholeheartedly. If they now put him with the Creed brothers, as you were saying, and form a new faction, that's like, to me, the equivalent of Team Angle again. Essentially. They all wear singlets. They all have that, pure pro wrestling style, grappling style, technical style. That's what we could be seeing again, essentially. Yep. And I'm all for it because I think it'll be amazing. It'll give the Creed brothers more of a personality, more of an edge, something to do. And then you get Chad Gable, you get him in a different light. You get him to go darker, to go get more mean, get more of a mean streak. So I'm all for this. And I definitely think they're lining this up perfectly to potentially have this again at Backlash. Maybe after that. I'm not sure yet. But again, we're setting this up perfectly. And if anybody's concerned about where Gunther fits into this, again, Gunther, I feel like goes away for a while. Yeah. A lot of people are saying he goes to the world title picture. Nah, I don't think so. Not immediately, because that, to me, that's locked up because Drew is set to win that championship. So it might not be for a while. That's probably months down the line. I don't think Gunther's done in the mid-card scene yet because you could easily have him interfere in one of their matches and come out and destroy both of them. And it'll just make Gunther look like even more of a monster heel. So,
Cam, with everything you just said, you put a smile on my face. You want to know why? Two things. Why? Number one, Chad Gable doesn't have to fucking shush people anymore. God, that got annoying. But number two, everything you just said about Gunther. And I don't like to take credit. I don't like to toot my own horn. I don't like to do that stuff. I'm not a person to do that. But I've been saying it for the longest time. Gunther and the world title picture do not need to mesh until we even get into the year of 2025. Because even with, like I said about Braun Breaker, because people are like, oh, Braun Breaker can go with the world title. No, he's not there. Both of those guys, not there yet. Not there yet. Gunther is far from done from the mid-title scene. Yes, he boosted the Intercontinental title for 666 days. But I think he can have another run with that championship and bring it even up more, because there are so many challengers he did not face yet in that reign. He didn't face. And I've said it about Rhea Ripley when she was champion, because sadly enough, now we have to say she's a past champion. She faced everybody on Raw, but we didn't see her go to SmackDown yet. Gunther, we've seen him face pretty much almost everybody on Raw. Probably faced partially some people over on SmackDown, but we didn't see him take on a lot of people there yet. And there's a lot of great matchups and a lot of meat left on that bone. The world title picture shouldn't even be thought of right now for Gunther. Now, somebody who's probably going to disagree with everything I just said is this man right here. So, Sean, your thoughts. We're an hour and 35 in. So about an hour and 20 minutes ago.
Gunther has done everything he needs to do in the mid card, okay? There's nothing left for him. What, the United States Championship?
No.
Because the Intercontinental he's done, he's done everything he could do with the Intercontinental. He's like he's the one that rose that bitch up to what it is now. Let him get his spot in the main event. Let him have the main card. Let him have the run at the world title. There's still reports that Drew is not signed, so there's no guarantee that he's winning that title. He's got 5 or 6 weeks left, apparently. May, June, whatever.
Okay.
If Drew does not resign, give that spot to Gunther. Let him go on a monster world heavyweight title run.
Who does he feud with?
He feuds with Priest. He feuds with Seth when he comes back. He feuds with Finn. He feuds with I don't know. There's a lot. The draft is happening. There's a lot more opportunities. The world title, the WWE title, are now in a position where they're not like so hard to switch between brands anymore, like each title is now. So
I have a question for you. You said you hate when they put baby faces against each other. How do you feel about heels being against each other?
I don't really like it that often either. But
so you just said that if Gunther would win the world title, he can feud with Priest. Heel. Drew.
Rematch.
Heel.
I didn't say Drew, though.
You did say Drew. You
I
said
didn't.
he can face.
I said Seth.
Sorry, you said Finn. Finn's a heel. Okay. Seth, we don't know when he's coming back. It's going to be a while. He's got a lot of healing up to do. It could be a year. It could be till Royal Rumble by the time we see him come back.
You can have him feud with Sheamus as well.
Sheamus just got back.
Yeah, build up Sheamus in the return. Keep him as a big baby face. You can have him. There's plenty of people that Jey Uso.
I agree with him eventually getting into the world title picture, for sure. But what I don't agree with is him just coming off of a 600+ day reign as Intercontinental Champion, and then you want him to go directly into a world title scene, win that championship, and then go on another monster. No, we don't need to see 2 back-to-back monster long reigns. No. Keep him where he's at right now, and I don't know, 6, 8, whatever months later, because he'll be fine. He'll be okay. not being in the world title scene. You could even put him in the Money in the Bank ladder match. He won't win.
No.
But have him have a monster showing in that, dominate everybody, come close to winning the Money in the Bank briefcase, but ultimately not win it.
I can't imagine Gunther climbing a ladder though. That would be hilarious. Like
me neither, because it just would look awkward.
He'll probably have like the Ludwig Kaiser or fucking Giovanni, whatever the fuck.
I hope not, because that would just make him look weak.
Yeah.
But you get what I'm saying.
Sean, a couple months ago we had a discussion about Cody Rhodes winning the world title, and we had the question of, Cody wins the title, who does he feud with? Okay, that was the question. Who does he feud with? And the ultimate answer was, oh, he can feud with Gunther. Okay. But then what? Now, on Friday night, we are going to find out who is going to be facing Cody Rhodes first for the championship. It's an obvious answer that it's going to probably be AJ Styles. Most likely. AJ Styles is probably going to be his feud throughout half the summer until we get to SummerSlam. SummerSlam is going to be his big blockbuster match, probably, with we know who, because it's been pretty obvious since last week. But the thing is with Gunther, he is this ultimate heel. I call him a heel babyface because the crowd loves him, but he's a heel. Went on this monster run as the Intercontinental Champion, 666 days. Okay? If he were to go on a monster run with the World's Heavyweight Championship, he's not going to have as many challengers that he would to have with the Intercontinental Championship. There are only so many guys that they can insert into the world title picture that would make sense. The Intercontinental title, they have more of a leniency. Why? Because at WrestleMania, we've seen a triple threat match for the United States title. We've seen Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, Logan Paul. Two guys that you would think main event picture. But even though they're not in the main event picture, you insert them into the secondary title because it made sense. We've seen Randy held the United States title in the past. Kevin Owens held the United States title in the past. They can still be in that picture. But there are guys right now, only so many guys right now you can insert in the world title picture to make sense. He has more of an opportunity to build himself up even more in the mid-card title situation.
Yeah, I see it.
Now, again, it's your opinion of him being a world champion. And that's what opens up these conversations. This is just our thought, like my thought, Cam's thought of, this is our point of view of why we feel him being in the world title picture right now wouldn't fit. You have your opinion. I respect it. That's why we're having a conversation about it. Putting our points across. So, first off, we got to have Gunther come back. And right now, having him be away for a little bit, it fits. We don't need to see him yet. We don't. Let's build some people up and get some more people on TV like a Ricochet, continue building him up and other superstars. But that's the end of Monday Night Raw. That was the main event. Sami Zayn retained the Intercontinental Championship. And great Raw overall. Good flowing show. And excited to see what happens come next week. So, speaking of, guys, we have about 15 minutes left. So, as you know, I pull some news stuff. And I make up my own titles and everything. We're going to get into the first one. Speaking of a Drew McIntyre, Scottish Psycho signing. He's in the area of going through his contract talks with WWE, talking about signing, everything like that. The whole thoughts of him going to Clash of the Castle, win the World Championship, all that stuff. Obviously, we've discussed all that stuff. So the main question is do you guys ultimately think he signs a long-term deal with WWE and we see him under the banner of WWE moving forward in the future for at least maybe the next 2 or 3 years? Cam, we'll get your thoughts on this one first.
Yeah, I think so. I think they've already been in talks so far, and I would be surprised if they're not close to finalizing a new deal. So I don't think he's going anywhere though.
Okay. Sean, your thoughts?
I don't know. It's hard to say right now, but I ultimately see him possibly at an all-in in August. I don't know.
So you think we'll see him at All In come August?
Maybe.
Okay. Well, it's going to be over in London, and Drew is he's from Scotland, but you can still see him. It could still happen. I ultimately think he signs a long term with WWE. I don't think he walks away from the fact of being a world champion and winning that championship, getting a moment in front of his home crowd, and having a run with that world title, a proper full out run that he should have gotten in the first place. Because the whole deal at WrestleMania, I understand you wanted to get Damian Priest to cash in his Money in the Bank. I think they could have went a different way with the Money in the Bank thing, but that's nor here or there right now. But anyways, I see Drew signing a long term with WWE and him sticking around. Our next one, Zombie. Yeah, one word, zombie. You guys are probably thinking, what the fuck is this, Mike? Seriously? But this has to consist of the man, The Undertaker. I couldn't think of anything else, okay? And he's the dead man,
Zombie taker.
zombie, But The Undertaker, he said in an interview that he liked the fact that everybody was surprised that he popped up at WrestleMania. That it wasn't the person that everybody expected. The glass shattering and out comes Stone Cold 316. Oh, hell yeah, let's smash some beers together. No. We got the gong. We got the lights out. We had the lights come back on. We got the choke slam to the Rock. We got the gong. The lights went back out. Out went The Undertaker. And guys, my question for you is, how much notice do you think The Undertaker had to plan this out? How far along do you think it was they had this planned out? Sean, give you your guess first. How far along do you think they planned this out?
There's no really way to tell when Stone Cold rejected the offer, so
Okay.
it could be up to the day of the event. It could be up to like a month, 2
Take a
months.
guess. Just take a guess. Yes. How
I'll
far?
I'll probably give it a month at least.
Okay. So a month? You say a month? Cam, how far out do you think The Undertaker made this decision and everything?
If I had to guess, probably a few hours before the event started.
Okay.
Honestly, because I think they were talking with Steve, and it was kind of a back and forth thing, and then the Steve thing fell through probably maybe the day before, so probably like the end of night one, it probably fell through. Okay. So literally like a few hours before night two started, they contacted Taker about it.
So to give you guys the answer, number one, Cam, you are the closest to the guess. Because the WWE ended their show in New York on Monday night. They ended up traveling to Philly on Tuesday. And late Tuesday night, The Undertaker got a phone call saying that they wanted to meet with him. And Wednesday is when they made the decision that the dead man was going to be showing up at night number 2 of WrestleMania. So a couple days before, they knew by Wednesday. Because the Steve Austin thing fell through a month before WrestleMania happened. So The Undertaker was 3-4 days before his actual showing. Our next one is Twin Magic 2.0. This has to do with a twin. Okay? So back when Mercedes Moné made her debut in AEW, her debut kind of sparked interest in some superstars that are free agents right now. And one of those free agents is one Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella went on to say that Mercedes Moné showing up in AEW motivated her to the fact where she has been giving some thought and is still thinking about the possibilities of signing with AEW. So my question is, guys, would you ultimately like to see a Nikki Bella in AEW? Sean, you're shaking your head. No, you
No.
laughed. You couldn't even let me finish my fucking sentence. So you're gonna go first on this one.
No. Stay far the fuck away from AEW, please.
Why would
Just-
you not like to see Nikki Bella in E AEW?
I had enough of her in WWE. Please just keep doing what you're doing. Podcast, reality show, whatever the fuck you're doing. I don't know what you're doing, but please just stop. It's please don't.
Okay. Cam, you host the show The Boom every Wednesday night right after AEW Dynamite right here on Rivet City Radio and Off the Top Media. You are the man that steers the ship. So my question for you, sir, is how would you feel about Nikki Bella showing up in AEW?
It's funny because as soon as I seen the Twin Magic 2.0 thing, and you had talked about Saraya, I knew where this was going because I had seen this earlier. I mean, I don't see why not. I'm kind of with Sean. I've never really been the biggest fan of Nikki Bella, but I'm not opposed to it. But essentially, if she did decide to sign with AEW, she would essentially be like another Saraya because I mean she's had her share of neck issues, so I don't think she would be necessarily a full timer like that. But I mean, ultimately, if it's a blockbuster move, I don't think she's somebody that's a game changer necessarily. But I think she would definitely make a big splash because again, that's another person that I think is considered a WWE lifer and would never really jump ship or go to another major company. So that would definitely be a blockbuster move if she did decide to sign with AEW. So I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it
I
necessarily.
mean, we've seen it before. We thought Edge would be a WWE lifer, but you know.
That's what I'm saying, and it's a blockbuster move to see him jump ship to another major promotion.
I mean, there's a few superstars that went to AEW we thought would be WWE lifers.
Mhm.
Edge, Mark Henry, Paul White, and they're all in AEW right now. Brian
Yeah.
Danielson, another one we thought he's going to finish out in WWE. No, he's in AEW right now. And that's my thoughts on this is I wouldn't mind seeing Nikki Bella in AEW. I don't think she would make much of an impact in AEW. I think she would be more of a coach, somebody to give advice to the younger talent that's there, kind of like what Serena Deebs does, but Deebs works in the ring as well. I think she would be more of a producer role. On screen, I think we would see her on special occasion, and it would not surprise me with Brian Danielson being there if we were to see Brie there as well. It would not, and that's why I titled this one Twin Magic because of that fact. But yeah, we got a few more here. Another Paul. It's supposed to say another Paul. I forgot to erase the S in Paul. But it was announced earlier this afternoon that we are going to get another Paul. No, not the first name Paul, but a last name Paul. Logan Paul and his fiancee wife announced that they are expecting. So I would like to say, as a fan of Logan Paul, what he does in the ring for the business of professional wrestling, and I am a fan of his show, his show as of late, his podcast. So it's a fun listen. It is. I enjoy it. Became a fan of Logan Paul with everything he's doing right now. I want to send out my congratulations to him. You know, it's an exciting thing for him. But yeah, do you guys have anything to say about this?
If he has a boy, can we call him Prime Paul?
Why? Why?
Because it'd be pretty cool. Like it's out there name Prime Paul. Like, you know what I mean? But no, I do congratulate him. Like,
Why? We have 5 minutes left. Why? Cam, do you have anything on this?
No, like I said, it's I just want to congratulate him on that. Yeah, that's a big deal. Please, boy or girl, name them something normal, please.
Yeah, not
once.
Prime.
We have enough celebrities who have kids who just name their kids just bizarre names.
like Elon Musk XYZ 2, 5, 6, whatever. Like,
All right, we got 3 more, guys. This one's called Back for the Future. Now, I came across an article. Sean, you probably know about this. I'm not sure if you do or not, but this has to pertain to one Miss Thunder Rosa. Now, as we all know, that she had a back injury. She was out of action for a year. We do know her journey to get back into the ring, and she said during an interview that there was thoughts of her going for a back surgery, but instead of doing that, she changed everything that she was doing when it came to exercising, diet, the way she worked in the ring, everything to get herself back to 100%, to get back into the ring. But she is not leaving out the possibilities of doing her back surgery in the future when it comes closer to her time of leaving the ring. So hopefully it's not too soon, not too soon of the fact of her leaving the ring, because I think she's doing some great things right now in AEW. I'm excited for her match against Toni Storm at Dynasty next week.
it sucks. I'm gonna miss it.
I hope they put the world title back on her. But do you guys have any thoughts about Miss Thunder Rosa and this situation?
Obviously, as her being one of my best friends, it'll suck if she has to get like back surgery, because I know that obviously
It's
a lot. It sucks, and I worry about her, and like obviously I'll check up on her every fucking day, make sure she's all right, and like this woman was one of the first people, like as soon as Collision was done on July 29th, 2023, to call me when my mom passed away. So for me, if she has to get that back surgery, I'm obviously going to be one of the first ones to call her and to text her, like, make sure she's all right. Because if she does do it, but if she doesn't need to do it, then I'm also happy. I want her to be in the ring doing what she loves for as long as she can, because I know wrestling is what she loves, and it just sucks for me because I'm gonna miss her match. I'm sorry, Mel. I'm sorry. I'm going to TNA on Sunday, and Dynasty is the same night, so I'm gonna miss your match, and I'm sorry. But I know you're gonna kick ass. I know you're gonna win, and I love you. So,
Sam, you got any thoughts?
Yeah, that's, I just hope she doesn't have to get, back surgery. That would be a major setback for her, and that's never a good thing. But hopefully she can push through this and doesn't have to take significant time off from a serious back surgery.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this real quick, that as somebody that had partially of what she would have to get done, and as somebody that needs to get the same thing she needs to get done, because I was told that I need to get the surgery done when I hit my 40s. Just to kind of pull back the curtain of my personal life there for a little bit. I wish I didn't do my first one. It didn't help. I'm hoping the second one helps more than the first one did. I don't recommend anybody to go get it done, but at the same time, it's a 50-50. It's either it's going to help or it's not going to. In my case, mine didn't. But at the same time, I didn't get a full fusion done like she has to get and I have to get in the future. So, yeah, if I ever get the chance to speak to her again, I would definitely like to say to her, like, I hope she heals up correctly and feels better and everything like that. And, I definitely understand what it's like to get that done. It's not fun, guys. I'm at the point where I'm, again, pulling back a little bit. I'm starting to lose feelings in my leg at times, both my legs.
Yeah.
So, as I said at the top of the show, before we got started here, I almost fell because I lost feeling in my legs. It sucks. It's a terrible feeling. So, but real quick, 2 more old friends, new life. As we all think, Cody Rhodes left AEW, went to WWE, and as the rumors were, it was because of the problems with the Elite. Well, just to let y'all know, Kenny Omega and Cody Rhodes still stay in contact. In fact, when they both have big things that happen to them, not only in life, but in the ring and in the business, they call each other, they talk, they congratulate each other. So it's kind of safe to say that Cody Rhodes still has a healthy relationship with the Elite. So, do you guys have any thoughts on this real quick?
That's all.
That it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cam?
I don't know. I mean, Kenny's still out. You know, we don't know when or even if Kenny's ever coming back. You know. Now I'll say this too. Would it be cool to see if somehow their conversations lead to maybe talks of Kenny coming to WWE? I wouldn't be opposed to it, you know, because at this point it's just kind of like it's getting to the point of now or never. You know, Kenny's not really getting any younger, so you know we can't keep holding out hope for him to come to WWE and then it just never happens. He's probably on his last maybe 4 years of his career, maybe, especially at the rate he's going and having matches with, you know, Will Ospreay, the caliber that he's having.
Yeah.
That takes a toll after a while. You can't keep doing that. So, yeah, that's ultimately what I would like to see happen. But you know, we got to get him healthy first. So,
Well, Cam, your segue leads us into the last one, and that is AEWWE. Tony Khan did an interview earlier this week, and he mentioned that in the past, WWE and AEW did work together. And you're probably wondering, well, where the fuck did they work together? Well, back in 2022, Tony Khan allowed WWE, gave the okay for them to show video package from Bryan Danielson, Chris Jericho, and Paul White in regards to something they were doing with John Cena. So Tony Khan came out to say that he is willing, under certain circumstances, to work with WWE. So is there a possibility at some point in the future we see something like maybe a match or hell, even an event done with both companies combined? Cam, you're smiling. You look like you have a thought about this, man. I'm going to let you go first. What's your thought on this?
this is something I've been holding out hope for the longest time because I feel like, well, especially right now, given the state of AEW, they have a lot to gain from that.
Oh,
They would look the best out of this. A lot of fans would be like, okay. Some fans who probably hate AEW would probably be like, okay, I'll give them a chance because you know, if you saw the image, imagine this, you see Raw, and the first thing that kicks off Raw is you see Tony Khan shaking hands with Triple H.
Oh,
come on, like
that gives me Vince and Bischoff vibes. Like
this would be. I'm sorry, Sean.
this will be bigger than that.
No, I know it'll be big. I'm just saying that's what I'm comparing it to, like Vince and
the Vince and Eric Bischoff thing was big. July 15th, 2002. I remember it was the day after my birthday because I went to a house show here in Allentown. I chose the house show over going to Raw in Philly that when I turned 16. Okay. And yeah, that was huge, but WCW was out of existence. We're talking about the two major companies that we see on national television every week, literally standing on the same stage. Like just the fireworks, the just whatever word you want to say.
Wow.
you gave me an idea, Mike.
Oh my god! Let Cam. I'm sorry, I cut Cam off. Let Cam finish.
I'll say it after Cam.
But no, I mean, just that imagery alone, I think would be insane. Like everybody would just be like losing their minds. So maybe it would, maybe it wouldn't. But I feel like it would pull in some of the fans who either just don't watch AEW or just simply dislike AEW. I feel like it would help AEW out so much. And like I said, I would prefer an event. They talk about the Forbidden Door event and it's just AEW in New Japan. A Forbidden Door event with WWE and AEW? Come on, bro. Like, and you giving us these dream matches like Shinsuke Nakamura versus Konosuke Takeshita?
Yeah.
Please. Like, what?
And-
Crazy.
And here's the thing is the next question from people would be, well, what do you do when it comes to championships? Here's the thing. Don't have championships on the line. Just have the matches. Now, if they would have championships on the line, then you do that thing called 50-50 booking. That's it. Your championship matches, even though we would know it would happen, is the defending champion retains. We're still going to get that dream match, and we know we're going to get something good. So who cares if we know what the outcome is? We're still going to get action. We're still going to get entertainment. 50-50 booking. Bottom line.
So,
Sean, go ahead.
So with everything you're saying, I want to disclaimer: this is a joke. What if that happens, and we cut to a camera, like a thing, and you see Stephanie McMahon, who's like Triple H is talking about, I signed the contract with Tony Khan for a Forbidden Door event or something, blah blah blah, and Stephanie's like, well, the contract does say Levesque, but the contract says Stephanie Levesque, giving back vibes to, well, the contract does say McMahon, but on it, it's Shane McMahon.
oh God. Jesus Christ.
Back when they bought WCW, like I'm saying, it's a joke. That's just what popped in my head when you guys were talking about it. It's like a little throwback to 2000. Was it 2001, 2002?
Sadly enough, Sean, is at that point, and I get where you're coming from, but at that point, that's when the IWC would have a fucking field day. You know why? Because everybody knows that she kept the McMahon name when she got married.
Right.
Didn't take the Levesque name. That's where the negativity would start coming out, and that's what would suck.
Well, either way, that's what my next point was. You're going to have, it's going to be like my excitement for it would be kind of dwindled because the tribalism's so bad that the fucking WWE tribalists will be like, oh, AEW needs WWE to survive. Look at this, blah, blah, blah. AEW is like, blah, 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 their side of the story. And I got so much toxicity under a retweet of Sammy Guevara saying, just shut the fuck up and enjoy wrestling, or something he said on tweet. And the toxicity just from a retweet I'm like, that's what would like dwindle my excitement for a WWE and AEW event. If there wasn't that tribalism, I would be like 100% on board. Right now, I'm probably like 80%. So I would love the dream matches we get, like Kenny Omega and Roman Reigns, Cody and I don't know.
We would get a bunch of dream matches, basically.
Yeah, Ospreay, Seth Rollins,
Yeah.
Ospreay, AJ Styles, whatever.
Yes. So, I'm sorry, Cam. Did you have one final thing to say? I think you were ready to say something.
Yeah.
Sean Soricon, what's up?
So the final thing I wanted to say on this is the main thing, and I wasn't even thinking about the tribalism, but yes, that would be an issue. But my issue with this is, again, in a perfect world, if AEW was ran by someone else other than Tony Khan, because I just feel like he just let his ego get involved. He'd be like, I don't want to work with them. Nah, not at all. So that's I think the major thing I think stopping that, because I think Triple H would be open to it. Honestly, I do.
I agree with you. I think he'd be open to it too, and I think somewhere down the line, maybe not 2024, maybe not 2025, but maybe like 2026, we get to it. I think what needs to happen first is I think we need to start getting more ticket sales for AEW, because we know the ticket sales haven't been the best as of late. Viewership on TV needs to bump up a little bit. But at the same time, if they were to do it sooner than 2026, WWE might be able to help them. If they were to do something together, I think WWE would also be able to benefit and help them. And moving forward, we can see them work together, you know, besides doing like a Forbidden Door pay-per-view or something that, you know, just more future stuff besides just one show. But all right, guys, that's the end of the show. We got to the end. Another night in the books here on the Table Spot. Before we close things out, my last reminder to everybody is to head over to Rivet City Radio and Off the Top Media's Twitch and YouTube channels. Hit that follow button, hit the subscribe button. Check out all the great content going on throughout the networks. Also, to head over to patreon.com/Rivet City Radio. Check out all the great content going on over there. But before we get out of here, Sean, your social medias are on the bottom. Make sure to head over to Sean's social medias, hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button. Check out everything that Sean is doing on his social medias. And Sean, do you want to say anything else to everybody and let them know where they can find you?
One thing, the X, there's no K in the pack, so just let you all know that might not pop up with the right account. Just a little correction.
Do I have to change this? There's no K?
Yeah, there's no K.
Damn it. You told me back when I created this thing that there was a K. Okay?
No.
So there.
There you go. And you can find me every Monday night at the Raw right here on the Table Spot. And Thursday, I believe I'm still a part of Career Retrospective for Seth Rollins. We're doing Seth Rollins. And Thursday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Rebellion Wrestling, the fallout from our first pay-per-view of Big Old Country Stampede. Come join and watch. And very soon we're going to throw it old school with Rebellion Wrestling and have it inside the Mall of America.
Very cool. So head over and check out everything that Sean is doing on his social medias and everything in between. Cam, your social media is on the bottom. Head over to Cam's social medias, hit that follow button, hit the subscribe button, check out everything Cam is doing over on his social medias. But other than that, Cam, where can everybody find you?
You can find me right here on the network every single Monday night with a Table Spot with these two gentlemen immediately following WWE Monday Night Raw. And then, of course, on Wednesday nights, except for this Wednesday, I will not be here. But every single Wednesday night right here on Rivet City Radio with The Boom immediately following AEW Dynamite. And then on our sister page on Off the Top Media after Friday Night SmackDown with another edition of Friday Night Review with Scows and Jamie. So, yeah, check us out.
All right, awesome. Make sure to check out everything that Cam's doing on social medias and everything else in between, as well as me. You can check out all my social medias, Instagram, X, TikTok, Snapchat, Twitch, and my link tree, all at Metal Mike 714. Make sure to hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button. Check out everything I'm doing on my social medias, not to toot my own horn. But here on the networks, you can catch me every Monday night after Monday Night Raw at 11:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with these two gentlemen here on the Table Spot. Every Wednesday night with Cam and Phil on the Boom at 10:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right after AEW Dynamite. And every Sunday for Rivet City Red Zone with the Candyman himself, Johnny H, as we talk everything professional football at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This week, Rivet City Red Zone will not be live on Sunday. I'm doing a special 2-hour show on Thursday, February 25th. April 25th. God, I'm thinking February. Thursday, April 25th for the NFL draft. So I will be doing that special on that Thursday, and then we will be back live together that Sunday to talk everything post-draft. Also, you can check out my articles over on lwosports.com, lastwordonsports.com. I write Philadelphia Eagles content. I'm working on my new article. Had a little bit of a writer's block, and I had to tell my editor, like, look, I need a week. I need to finish my article. I'll have it submitted by Sunday. So getting that finished up and everything, that should be out next week. Plus, I got something really cool to announce real quick, gentlemen. Is it cool if I take a second here? So I got offered to and I got the okay to announce this here tonight, that on February 19th, on Friday, April. Why am I thinking February? Thank you. On April 19th, on Friday, I'm going to be on Sirius XM channel 88 on the NFL Network on the show Moving the Chains. I'm going to be on a 5-minute spot during their fantasy or their mock draft. I'm going to be representing the Eagles. So I'm going to be able to talk about the Eagles, talk about the state of the Eagles right now, and also make the mock draft pick for their mock draft. So 5-minute spot on the NFL Network on Moving the Chains this Friday between the hours of 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So
There you go.
Nice.
please make sure to, if you could, make sure to listen. And if you don't listen live, they do have the replays up over there on SiriusXM. So much appreciated. But gentlemen, before we get out of here, do you have anything else left for the class?
No, that's it.
Nothing else. All right. Well, that was another episode of the Table Spot. We'd like to thank everybody for joining us tonight. Everybody who joined us live, everybody who's going to join us here on the recording. Until next Monday, be good to each other, be kind to each other, take care of each other, be patient with each other. Remember, the world is not moving as fast as you think. Until next time, deuces.